morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today's November 2025 Shotsky Hoyo Memorial Service. And first of all, I want to extend my condolences to the Toronto Blue Jays, who lost in the 11th inning last night. But at the same time, I should congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers, because we want to be, not to be divisive, we want to be fair in our congratulations and our condolences. So the Dodgers played a great game. It was a fun series to watch if you're into baseball. And, but there always has to be a winner and a loser in these things, and they both played great baseball. So it's kind of a flipping over of a page now. We move into fall. We move into a new season. And so we can root for the Warriors, we can root for the Niners, we can look forward to other things in our life. But today, we're observing our November Shotsky Hoyo. I'd like to begin with an opening reading. If you please join me in Gasho. If a person wishes to know what the causes were in the past, they have only to look at the present results. If they wish to know what the future will be, they only have to look at the present causes. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. This morning's sutra chanting will begin with the Sambujo on page 24 of the large purple service book, followed by the Sambutsuge, and then the Jusei. Namandos. Today we are gathered in the quietude of Amida Buddha's temple to commemorate the November Shotsuki Hoyo for the Watsonville Buddhist temple. We faithfully recite the Nembutsu and humbly join our hands together in Gasho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intention. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dharma. May the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amida's eternal light of wisdom that dispels the darkness of ignorance. Namo Kia Butsu, Namo Kia Ho, Namo Kia So, Namman. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay, I have to forgot something. Excuse me. Okay, I'd like to now read the names of families observing Memorial in the month of November. As I read your family names, please come forward and burn incense. For Sadatoshi Akiyama, for Tom Stomu Aoki, for Kumaki Aramaki, for Henry Yasumasu Arao, for Taisuke Arao, for Yoshino Arita, for Mitsugu Eto, for Helen Natsuko Fukuhara, for Chizue Fuji, for Shinhichi Fujita, for Yoshio Fujita, for Sasayo Hamada, for Fumiko Hara, for Toraji Hara, for Dick Takashi Higaki, for Mitsuji Idemoto, for Fujino Iwanaga, for Toki Uemon Jim Iwanaga, for Sadao Izumizaki, for Hana Kadotani, for Peggy Ayako Kadotani, for Jerry Kaita, for Kiyomi Kaita, for Bill Kenichi Kajihara, for Masayo Kajihara, for Sadao Kajihara, for Shizuko Kajihara, for Takeshi Kajihara, for Yoshiko Kamimoto, for Hatsumo Kinoshita, for Kimi Kohara, for Shinnosuke Kohara, for Isao Saleh Matsui, for Kunishige Matsunami, for Barbara Ayako Mino, for Kazuji Kaz Mio, for Saburo Misumi, for Daisy Iku Nagamine, for Roy Takashi Nagamine, for Chikie Nakahara, for Natsu Nakamori, for Hiroshi Nishita, for Tokuki Nita, for Betty Oda, for Chio Ogawa, for Fumiko Okamoto, for Lois Ota, for Roy Sakai, for Fumiko Francis Shiotani, for Ayano Sukekane, for Ryu Shidachi, for Ayano Sukekane, for Ben Tada, for Rosie Takamune, for Jean Takei, for Katsumi Jim Tao, for Tatsuyoshi Tats Tominaga, for Senzo Uda, for Masao Wada, for Fusajiro Wakayama, for William Wilbur, for Tammy Yagi, for Sumiko Yamada, for Kikuyo Yamakoshi, for Kiku Yamamoto, for Hideo Yamashita, for Charles Yoshida, for Kuni Yoshida, and if there's anyone else who's observing a memorial in the month of November and we did not call your name, please come forward and burn incense at this time. And if I could ask Joanne to Oshoko for families who could not be here today. No more notice, no more notice, no more notice. Thank you. If you please rise and join me in the Gatha Mihotoke Idakarate on page 256 of the large purple service book. Sorry. Thank you. Please turn to page 10. The threefold refuge. Sorry. The threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amidavas. Namo Amidavas. Namo Amidavas. Namo Amidavas. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to begin with an opening reading. Please join me in Gasho once again. It is saddening that so many people, both young and old, men and women, have died this year and last. But the Tathagata taught the truth of life's impermanence for us fully, so you must not be distressed by it. I, for my part, attach no significance to the condition, good or bad, of persons in their final moments. People in whom Shinjing is determined do not doubt, and so abide among the truly settled. For this reason their end also, even for those ignorant and foolish and lacking in wisdom, is a happy one. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. This quote is from our founder, Shinran Shonin. And, every month we have this Shotsuki Hoyo, this memorial service. And we read a long list of names. And as we get into the months of November, December, January, February, the list gets longer. And people may wonder, why do we have to read all of these names? And many of those names are people that you may not know. Some of you will remember many of the names, but there are many of us who don't know a lot of these people on these lists. So why do we have to read these names? Well, I feel personally that we need to honor them, even though they are from the past, even though they are gone from our memory even. We honor them because they have been a part of this temple, they've been part of this community, and they've contributed to what we have at this moment, in this day. So we honor each and every one of them by reading their names. So this quote that I started with by Shinran has the words sad, distressed, and doubt. But also it has the words happy in it. He says, their end is a happy one. So in this one statement, Shinran is both practical and compassionate. Practically speaking, he's saying that death is neither good nor bad, but is the truth of life. And at the same time, his belief in the compassion of Amida Buddha that results in our birth into the Pure Land. And it should be looked on as a happy moment. So, in our everyday life, we strive for happiness. And it's an elusive feeling. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're just neutral. No feelings of sadness or happiness. But it's something that we strive for. It's something that we long for and work towards, our happiness. So how do we define happiness? Everybody defines happiness in different ways. Some will attribute happiness to their children, to their grandchildren. Some will define their happiness in material possessions that they have. These are some of the things how I define happiness. Good sashimi, good pork loin. Whoops. Along with a good cocktail. This makes me happy. Okay? But also, for others, it is different. Maybe it's being in Vegas or Reno that makes you happy. Maybe it's fishing on the beach that makes you happy. Maybe it's traveling around the world, seeing different things. This is a picture of Mount Fuji in Japan. Maybe it's golf that makes you happy. So these are the things that I feel make me happy. But these things are not lasting. They're temporal. They'll only bring happiness for a short time. When I'm done with my cocktail, I'm done with my dinner, that happiness comes to an end. When I'm done with a round of golf, that happiness comes to an end. So one of my teachers, he said that happiness is like trying to grab onto a snowflake. It's so beautiful. We want to grasp and hold on to it. But the moment we grab it, it melts and disappears. The moment we hold on to anything, it begins to change, it begins to disappear. The Buddha defined this as grasping, holding on to something, and not letting go. The more we hold on to things, the more they slip through our fingers. The Buddha, Shinran and others, constantly have emphasized that happiness and sorrow go hand in hand. One cannot be happy without experiencing sorrow. Now this sounds sort of counterintuitive almost. You can't have one without the other. But the Buddha has always said these are two sides of one coin. Birth and death, happiness and sorrow, all go together. One of my very earliest memories of growing up was going to the San Jose Buddhist Temple. My family, my mother's side of the family, were members at San Jose Buddhist Temple. And we were always going there for services. Sunday services, we were in Mountain View, but it seemed like many, many Saturdays were spent at San Jose Buddhist Temple going to either a wedding or a memorial service or a funeral. And so seemed like we were constantly there. But one of my very early memories, I remember my grandfather's funeral, but I had a cousin, Jerry, who I always looked up to him. He was always very kind to me. He taught me things. I remember him teaching me how to properly brush my teeth as I spent the night one evening at my uncle's house. And he was always so very kind to me. Well, he had joined the Army, and he was about 19 when he was driving through Texas, and he was in a tragic automobile accident, and he died. And so we had the funeral at the San Jose Buddhist Temple. And again, he was barely 20 years old when he died. And I remember the casket. I remember my cousin laying there, and I remember feeling really sad that this favorite cousin of mine had died. But what I also remember was the sorrow that my aunt felt, the loss of her son. And everybody in the temple was sad and crying. So after the service, this is one of those traditions that we have as Buddhists. We gathered together and we had what's called otoki. This is eating and talking. And after the otoki, we went to my aunt and uncle's house in San Jose. And there was more food and more drink and more talking. And I remember sitting on the edge of the bed with a paper plate full of food. And I'm enjoying the food, and I hear, of all things, I hear laughter coming out of the kitchen. And I'm thinking to myself, I was very young at the time, but I was thinking to myself, why are we happy? We're not supposed to be happy. We're supposed to be sad. This is a tragic event. And yet there's laughter and carrying on, going on in the kitchen. So I was struggling with this. How come people are laughing and having a good time? We're supposed to be sad. Now more than ever, though, I really do appreciate and understand the supposed contradiction of mourning the loss of someone, but then living life, going on with our lives, moving forward. So our tradition of funerals, memorials, otoki, meal after the funeral, they provide for us an opportunity to mourn the loss of someone, but also to reminisce and to reflect upon their lives. It gives everyone a chance to catch up also, to remember together the life of the individual who has returned to the Pure Land. It's a reunion of family and friends who have been touched by the deceased. And through him or her, others are able to experience and appreciate the acquaintances that we haven't seen in months or for years. It seems like every time I do a memorial service here, there's this joy of bringing people together. There's laughter, there's hugging, and when the service is over, they're outside saying goodbye. For half an hour, 45 minutes, they're saying goodbye. Because they really are enjoying that togetherness that is brought to them by this person who has died. And yet, they still have a hard time saying goodbye out in the parking lot. But there are very, very good and practical reasons that we conduct our funerals and our services the way that we do. It is designed to help us as survivors understand, appreciate, and to come to terms with the reality of death, while at the same time gaining an appreciation for this life that we have received. That's why Shinran Shonin says it's a happy ending. Although it's full of sadness, there is happiness. If we don't or aren't given the opportunity to mourn the loss of our loved ones, we cannot once again laugh and embrace this life fully. The expedient means in which we conduct services today, to me, somehow does a disservice to this process of mourning and accepting the passing of someone. So it kind of takes away the experience of accepting this truth of life. But that's, times change, and we change with times, and things evolve. But we often forget the joy of life when we experience difficulties. The Buddha Dharma reminds us that difficulties result from our inability or our ability to see things as they simply are in truth. Shinran's appreciation of life comes from Amida's assurance that everyone will experience the assurance of birth in the Pure Land. Mindful of this absolute assurance, we can experience the same joy of life as Shinran in the midst of difficulties. Thank you. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Okay. I'm going to make a few announcements before we close today. First of all, this Saturday, November 8th, from 10 to 2, we're going to have our Watsonville Buddhist Temple blood drive. It'll be held in the gymnasium here. And so if you're able and willing and free that day, come by and donate blood for a good cause. Okay? Anything else to say about that? No? Okay. The next day on November 9th, we'll have our Eitaikyo Muen Hoyo service, memorial. That's going to be at 10 o'clock. Sorry, going backwards. Saturday, again on November 8th, right after the blood drive, from 5 o'clock till 7:30, we're going to gather in the gym for a fun night. Just a casual get-together of friends and family and members to get to know each other better and catch up with old friends. Everybody's welcome. Bring your friends, bring your family. Invite those that you know would be interested to come and share with us on November 8th, Saturday, 5 to 7:30. There'll be games and refreshments served as well. Anything else? Is that okay? Okay. I'm doing good so far. Oh, can't wait to see you there. Okay. Okay. So over the week I was talking to Joanne about the current situation with our federal government's inability to pass a budget. And it affects our citizens locally who depend upon food banks for their food. And their federal funding has ended. And so they're all struggling to get food on the table for the needy. So I hope you'll be able to join us and support our community. We'll continue to accept non-perishable food items to take over to the food bank. If you would like, you can also donate money. They're telling us that money goes a long way to feed the hungry. So we'll accept donations that we will take to the Second Harvest Food Bank. The things that they need most, of course, are the canned meats, peanut butter soups, chili beans, cereal, canned fruit, things like that. So we'll continue to do this until the need subsides. Hopefully it won't last too long, but we will continue to collect food throughout the holidays and take them over to the food bank. So anything else on that, Joanne? Yeah, so we'll accept donations as well, monetary donations. I understand that their dollar goes a long way in helping to feed the needy. Okay. Are there any other announcements? Yes, Joanna.
Yeah, sorry. We were just told by the people that are doing the road work here, for the corner and all the way to Bridge Street and all this area, they're working on this, changing pipes and things. So, starting next Friday till the 21st, our road here in front of the temple will be closed. So, yeah, so what we're gonna do is, you have to come in from Blackburn. So if you live in the apartments or Sensei, or if you're coming to the church temple for a service or the Hana or any of the functions, you have to come through Blackburn. We're gonna unchain that driveway over there in the parking lot. You come through the driveway, and the city's gonna put a ramp there for the cars to come, so you can drive through the front of this parking lot and get into the gate, or park right there, or park in the parking lot. But, so, anybody, the apartments and everybody else has to go through this way for 2 weeks, till the 21st, and it's through the weekend as well. And I might be talking to them to see if we can do something, I don't know, but he said it's through the weekend as of right now.
We might want to open up this gate.
Oh, yeah.
They can drive in through the back side.
He is putting a driveway or a ramp there for us to go. Yeah. Okay, I'll think about that.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other announcements? If not, please rise for the Gatha. Ondok-san 2 on page 220. Whenever you enjoy the benevolence of Amida Buddha, know that there is another with you. Whenever you speak of the benevolence of Amida, with one who shares the same faith with you, remember there are three in company, for I, Shinran, shall always be with you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. I failed to mention a couple of things. One is that I want to thank Cheryl and Ryan over for the flowers, and also Naya for today's service in memory of Bill. And there's refreshments in the conference room, so please come up for Oshoku, and then we'll gather in the conference room for refreshments. Thank you very much, everyone. This will conclude our services today.